Yo, what's poppin', man? Dr. Fluent in the building. You already know we get into it again. Fluent. Big shout out to L.E.O TV. Loyalty equals opportunity. And of course, I gotta shout my guy out. You know what I'm talking about? Smitty in the building. Thanks for having me. Let's get into it. You did.
This is L.E.O TV.
Kris Campbell, how
What's
you feeling
poppin'?
today, my boy?
Pretty good, bro. I've been having a Rockstar weekend, you know what I'm saying? Well, last week I had a Rockstar weekend.
Okay.
This week I had a Rockstar week.
Damn.
And we're going into a Rockstar weekend as we speak now. So, bro,
Hey, bro.
I'm living my best life. I'm excited.
Hey, that's what rock stars do, right? That's all you can do.
Rockstar to Rockstar-ish, you
Exactly.
dig?
Hey, people be hating, but you know what I'm saying? You be out here doing your thing. I see you've been really hustling from the beginning. I seen you start from the very beginning when you first touched down to Birmingham.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get your name out there, and then 95.7 Jamz, and then still doing your thing even afterwards. So,
for sure.
much respect to you, man. Really
Appreciate
you for being on the platform, man. So, to run it back, man, let's go ahead and start it. Who is Kris Campbell?
Who is Kris Campbell? Kris Campbell is a dog-out fool, okay? I'm a full-time entertainer, man. I love people. I have a soft spot for artists, creativity, creatives. I'm attracted to that, man. I've dedicated my life to entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Communications person, obviously. I got 2 degrees in communication. And I could have went into hard news if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? But I got tattoos on my hand on purpose.
Right.
Because I've really dedicated, I've vowed to give my life to entertainment.
Okay.
You know, so anything in between that spectrum, all of that is Kris Campbell, aka Dr. Fluent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like adding pieces to the puzzle,
Yo,
bringing it all together.
And he evolves every day.
Right.
I learn every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm super excited about that because every day you can literally meet somebody that can teach you something that's value to who you're trying to become, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
hey, I'm just a student of my craft. That's all I am.
Hey, man, much respect, man. You were originally from Livingston, then you moved to Mobile,
He
right?
did his research. I like an interviewer that do their research.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
I like that. You know what I'm
what I
saying?
do.
Yes, I'm from Livingston, Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm a bookworm, but I got some brothers that's not bookworm. They're more street oriented. You know what I'm saying? And long story short, our house got shot up
Oh, damn.
while we was in it. Somebody was trying
How
to
that
like.
story happened? What the fuck?
Only thing I remember is we went to Sonic one night. My older brother, his girlfriend, and I. And of course, my favorite thing for Sonic is mozzarella sticks. Sonic has the best mozzarella sticks. I don't care what nobody say, okay? I'm gonna put Sonic's mozzarella sticks up against everybody else. Long story short, man, while we was at Sonic or whatever, a dude came up to the car or whatever and like got in the window, like at my brother because he was driving. My brother rolled the window up, whoop, skirt off, you know what I'm saying? And that was that. So the next day, our house got shot up.
Damn.
So I was in it, my dad was in it, both of my older brothers was in it, and one of my older brothers' girlfriend was in it. So that was scary for anybody, even a mom. Like, you gotta think about a mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's in it. The bullets was on my little sister's bed.
Oh, snap.
So it had to be somebody who had been in
Nobody got hurt, right?
Nobody got hurt.
Okay.
Because my sister wasn't there, but it was on her bed. Had she been asleep, because it was late, it would have been worse, you know what I'm saying? However, my mom being, you know what I'm saying, the God-fearing woman that she is, she decided to pack our things up and move to Mobile the next day.
Okay.
Both of my brothers and my dad stayed in Livingston. My younger sister and I and my mom, we moved to Mobile. So that's how I got to Mobile, you know what I'm
Now,
saying?
when you move to Mobile, did things get a little bit better for you?
Of course, it's all the American struggle, you know what I'm saying? We was living with a family member, then we went to a hotel, then we finally got our own house.
Okay.
The educational system is obviously better in Mobile because it's a larger city. So they are, you know what I'm saying, exposed to more resources than people in the country. So, yeah, I think, you know what I'm saying, moving to Mobile was a positive for sure.
Okay, and yeah, down there in Mobile, there's actually a lot of culture. My brother from Mobile, so I know like they got Mardi Gras, they got
First of all,
women, that's
and
for sure.
let me say this on camera for the record, you know what I'm talking about? Mardi Gras started in Mobile.
Exactly.
Not New Orleans.
Everybody thinks Mardi Gras started in New Orleans. It started in Mobile.
No, it started in Mobile for sure.
Yeah. What made you decide to get into radio and broadcasting?
I started off in TV at Jackson State. Towards my senior year, I started getting into radio. I learned really fast. I learned that the holy trinity of journalism is print, TV, and radio. You know what I'm saying? If you can get into film, that's cool too. It's a bag. Nowadays, that's a bag for sure.
Right.
So towards my senior year, I just wanted to evolve. I was the president of NABJ. I was Mr. NABJ at the same time. So I was very, very, very submersed in communication. And my senior year, I was like, okay, I need to start documenting this.
Right.
And radio, you can really, really document. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Conversation. You don't get to see me. You know what I'm saying? So you're not scared about what I look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have no, you know what I'm saying, perception of me.
It's like the theater of the mind.
Exactly. So I wanted to get into radio. We did that my senior year, and I fell in love with it, man.
Okay.
I fell in love.
What was that moment like when you really said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take this and run with it?
It was life-changing. It was life-changing because I went through college like, yo, I'm going to be on TV. Like, for the first 3 years, it was like I'm working for Tiger TV at Jackson State. I'm producing content. You know, I'm a talent, and I'm doing really well. I did the BET College Tour. I was on 106 and Park with Bow Wow. You know what I'm saying? And I thought TV was what I was going to be doing. But radio really taught me that you don't have to be insecure at all.
Right.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you can open up with radio.
Like a lot of personalities have anxiety, and people, you know what I'm saying? We're introverts at heart.
Yeah.
Me specifically, I don't like having interpersonal communication. Like, this is hard for me. This is one-on-one right now.
Right.
I'd rather talk to the masses.
Right.
Because I know I got my head on my shoulder, and that what I got to say is beneficial to the people that's listening. You know what I'm saying? So I take on a responsibility to lead other people based off what I'm saying in communication, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So, with that being said, describe your work ethic. Like, what is your mindset whenever you are in the radio, at the radio station on air, or even just getting that thrill from hosting, per se?
So a lot of times I do a lot, you know. So this past year has taught me, okay, bro, don't do so much, but do more quality things, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
For me, man, so I don't remember anything that I host. Like, that's why
I don't remember anything you host.
That's why I started Dr. Fluent. That's why I created Dr. Fluent, because he's my alter ego. So when I host these events, I tap into something totally different because I'm an introvert at heart.
Right.
So I tap into a different character, you know what I'm saying? I put on the show for people, you know, and it's like I black out almost.
Okay.
Next thing I know, I'm waking up, man, yo, we just partied like rock stars the whole night, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, so you basically got two sides to you.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I feel it. I feel it.
For
Sort
sure.
of like Ludacris. He said himself, like, he felt like he had different personalities. So
For sure.
when he became Ludacris, it was different from Chris Lover and Chris Bridges.
And not only that, you know, I have anxiety, which will hinder me from being the best that I can be.
Right.
So what I did was created a character that I can completely be who the hell I want to be.
Exactly. You just be whoever, like your very own superhero.
Exactly. That's exactly who Dr. Fluent is. He's Kris Campbell by day, but superhero is Dr. Fluent. You
Exactly.
did?
Yeah,
You
I
did.
got you on that. So let's talk about that college tour that you recently that you did when you were at JSU. How did you get into that?
Okay, so I got to the college tour. I do not know. Only thing I know is time and space. I believe in time and space. There's a lot of people in this world. We're all sharing time, and we're all sharing the same space. So I was at Jackson State University, and I did the college tour and 106 and Park the same week. So the college tour was like you had to audition for, obviously. I was actually at UA. I started at UA. I started at Jackson State, transferred to UA. I can pay out-of-state fees.
Damn. That shit gets expensive after
Exactly.
a while.
Long story short, I had God worked out whatever He worked out to where I didn't have to pay out-of-state fees to Jackson State anymore because it's in Mississippi. I'm from Alabama. So I went to UA. I pledged at UA. While I was pledging, I dropped 2 classes, flunked 2 classes. So I didn't have any credits. And then my credits from Jackson State didn't even transfer.
Damn.
So I basically was a freshman for 2 years.
Basically, it started all over again.
I had to start over. So I had to go. I used to shoot this stuff while I was on campus at Jackson State. And I was working with these ladies. And they were shooting a pilot for the Housewives of Jackson. This was years ago. And I did some work with them. And they told me to come pull back up. Let's do it again. So I did it. And it was a rep from Jackson State there and saw me do my thing.
Right.
So they eventually gave me a scholarship to come back and pretty much waived my out-of-state fees.
Damn, so that's a blessing in
Exactly,
disguise.
but check this out. So I told you I was behind, right? So all of my credits that were at UA, so I did 3 semesters there. So I did pretty good the first semester. The second semester I didn't do good because I was online. But all of my credits transferred back to Jackson State. So it put me back on track.
Oh, okay.
So I still graduated in 4 years. So I had to dip. I was like,
that's
yo,
smart.
I love y'all, but I ain't trying to be, I'm going to school for a reason. So I went back. And when I went back, I got into everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Got into everything. But I told myself before I left, I right-handed God. Right-handed God. Before I left Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I had to pray to myself. I said, yo, if you go back to Jackson State, you got to get on 106 in Park, and you got to host the BET College Tour.
You spoke it to existence.
I wrote it down, and I spoke it to an existence. You know what I'm saying? And it really happened. It happened for me.
Now, when you when it happened for you, was it sort of like a test of faith, letting you know that you are dedicated to the radio industry and just passionate about what it is that you have in your life?
That's real. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think that week, because like literally that Monday or Tuesday, I was on the 106 in Park. Then that Thursday or Friday, I was doing the college tour. So students got to see me twice a week. You know what I'm saying? Students got to see me twice. You know what I'm saying? I remember KSI. My granddaddy is over there playing because he played too much. I was at UA. But that week really solidified to me what it is that my passion was. And that was the week that I dedicated my life to entertainment.
L.E.O TV, bringing that fire.
How did you get into your 95.7 Jamz? How did you get into that position?
Cool story, bro. Let me tell you, okay? So I moved to Birmingham from Houston. And first I was in this competition in Montgomery where I had to test myself out on the radio and I competed against these other people for the nice spot. I ran up my view. Like, man, I had the most votes out of everybody. Like, I'm humble most of the time, but this time I know for a fact that one thing that people don't got on me, not upcoming people, is my social media following. Not only that, I'm a member of KSI. I'm in tons of group meetings.
You have a lot of networking.
I done went to college twice. I got a master's degree.
Skills.
Like, my network is huge.
Yeah.
And my online presence, you can't mess with me on that. You just can't. Well, big time people can, but the people that were part of the competition know they can't.
Right.
Long story short, I lost that competition. I thought I was going to win. I had more numbers than everybody. The second round, they cut the votes off so nobody can see. Nobody can see it. So I'm very smart, too, because I study entertainment. So I quickly learned that whoever that program director was, whoever the program director was, he had already knew he was going to hire. The contest was a gimmick to get the ratings back up because now everybody's tuned in.
Oh, so it was all set up in the first place.
Hey, my name is Kris Campbell, a.k.a. Dr. Fluent, and I'm fluent in all things media and entertainment. I don't care what it is, I understand it.
Now, when you were in that position as a program director, you became a program director really fast. And that is a lot of pressure, but you really made it seem like it was easy. How did you do that?
I tell you like this, anybody in radio, it's all about just being there when opportunity presents itself. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that I worked for CBS in Houston 2-3 years before as a promo tech. I was a guy that went and set up the tent and gave out the free stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got into radio. I had an OG named DJ T. Gray. He's the Houston Rockets DJ and the Dynamo, the soccer team's DJ, the professional team in Houston. And he was on the station at the time, and he told me, he gave me the blueprint to how to get on air. And normally I'm stubborn as hell.
Right.
But for some reason, this is the first time that I ever listened to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I followed the steps. And lo and behold, when the holidays came up, I was the only person that could do the show, so they had to put me on.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my second show, they flipped the station and created a whole new station. Those of you who don't know what flip station means, it means fire everybody, get away with everything, and start a new station with the same frequency. So it went from a hot 95.7 to 95.7 spot. You know what I'm saying? And they fired everybody. But for me, I was a promo tech too, so I got to keep my promo tech job.
Okay.
So, you know, just learning all that stuff, just knowing how the radio industry is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's what separates me from everybody else.
Okay.
Because I've seen it at in a big market.
In a different market.
In a different market. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. So with 95.7 Jamz in Birmingham, I feel like you really put a chokehold on the city. And the way you did it was, I believe you went to the high schools first. And you really were out there in those high schools interacting with the children. Why was it so important for you to go out there and use that as a way to make your presence known?
Because the children are the future. Like, and I don't want people to think they take that lightly, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to be children.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we're in position. We work for radio stations now.
Right, that's true.
Imagine what the youngins gonna do when they come up. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it's our job to really nurture that and grow that and perfect their craft so they can be better than us. Because unconsciously, the next generation is smarter than the generation before.
That makes sense.
Like, just naturally, like, technology is different. Like, my little 6-year-old niece knows how to use an iPad. She knows how to use a phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean just use it. She's taking pictures. She's recording videos. She's recording YouTube videos now.
Yeah, on top of that, the younger generation leads the way.
They do.
Even though the older people, they have the wisdom, they have the knowledge and everything, but that came with time. But the younger people, they keep the world alive.
Exactly. So, I did a high school tour with the sheriff.
Yeah.
Sheriff Mark Petway, that's my big bro. He has helped me in so many ways. Like
in what ways?
Yeah, like even personally, you know, I go through personal struggles and he's helped out.
Okay.
I've been wanting, when I first started 95.7 Jamz, I had the Fluent High School tour. I could never find a sponsor.
Damn.
And that was almost, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I just did that tour this last year, you know what I'm saying, in the spring this year. The sheriff was able to bring that, he was able to sponsor that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in return, we made sure he was able to speak to the students, really connect with them, and that's what I dig about our sheriff, because he's actively in the community, really touching lives. Exactly what I do.
That's respect.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly what I do. It may be different. Bro, he's my mentor.
Okay.
And I don't have many anymore, but he's my mentor.
But I feel like it's important to find that mentor, because if you have a leader, not necessarily like a leader, but somebody who can kind of guide you, because there's a lack of mentorship within the black community anyway.
Especially
so if
males.
you can find it, that's really good.
So we live in an era of post-modernity. Everything is different now, you know what I'm saying? And there's a bridge between generation, X and Z, males versus millennials and all this stuff. We wear tight pants. They wear baggy pants. So there's a gap in between us anyway. So I think when you find, you know what I'm saying, an OG, because I like to call him an OG. When you find an OG, it's your responsibility to, like, seek knowledge. And I'm not only learning from him, he's learning from me as well. You know what I'm saying? He can't just walk into a high school and talk to high school kids. They're not trying to hear that. We don't mess with cops.
Right.
But because he and I partnered and I was able to bridge that gap between them and him, it was beautiful.
For 95.7 Jamz, if you could go back and change something, what would that be? And why?
Just to be stronger. Just to be stronger. I was the youngest in the building. You know what I'm saying?
But is that a negative thing or is that a positive thing? Because if you're younger in the building and you're the program director, that says something about your work ethic.
Well, it was both. It was a positive because it's a young man moving and shaking. A young black man moving and shaking. It was a negative because I was too immature to handle that role the way I needed to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can acknowledge that, and it took me 3 or 4 months of doing my own thing to reflect back on it and say, hey, you reacted to this situation completely inappropriately. You know what I'm saying? For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So if you control your reactions, the way that you react to things, you can get far. So I don't blame anybody. Yes, it was people around that, you know what I'm saying, I probably can't stand. That gave me something to do every day. But ultimately, as the captain of my ship, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't react to those situations. I could because I was 26. I was a college professor, and I was a promotion director for the #1 hip-hop station in the city. That was up to me to guard, not nobody else. The enemy was supposed to attack. The enemy was supposed to attack because they want that too.
That was part of his plan.
So now I know, just be stronger.
Okay, and so now that you know how to be stronger, Do you feel like you kind of found a mentor while you were there at 95.7 Jamz or no?
New York is my mentor. It's one of my homies. You know what I'm saying? I cannot lie. I think she's one of the most talented women in the radio game. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, she knows how to adapt. She knows how to adapt, and I love that about her. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, she's music oriented. Not only is she in radio, but she does music too.
Respect.
Not just an artist, but she actually like makes beats.
Okay. Yeah, she's actually in the game.
So she's
really,
fluent.
Yeah, so she knows she's fluent.
She's
That's
fluent.
right.
And you gotta respect that.
Okay.
So there's a different level of respect when it comes to her.
Recently, unfortunately, your brother passed away, man.
It did.
Can you talk to us about that? Where were you at that time, and how has that impacted your life and your work ethic?
Anybody ever asked me that? When he passed, I was in a confused state. When you become a radio personality and you tap into, creatives and artists and like you care about them, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the things that I was doing, I was like really moving for like the artists and stuff. My brother's an artist.
Right.
Like my brother and I haven't been cool in our life, period. He's the oldest brother, I'm the youngest, and we had a gap between us, so we weren't as close as we should have been anyway. But to see him be so excited about me being on the radio, he wanted to be around me because he's an artist. He wanted to be around me, you know what I'm saying? Sammy at Lux.
Right.
He got to come to the radio station and see me interview people and all this stuff. Like, he was super excited. And for me, it was the first time in my life that I really had a bond with my brother. You know what I'm saying? So when he died, first of all, he was in jail. He had got out. He learned how to get on probation. He was in Atlanta. They gave him severance to come on out here to Birmingham on the weekends and stuff like that. So he was staying at my house, though.
Okay.
He was staying in my apartment. So when he died, it was kind of like, oh, my God. Finally, I got this relationship with my brother that I wanted, that I've always dreamt of, you know what I'm saying? And it's gone just like that. But before he died, he apologized for everything he had ever done to me.
And what's so coincidental about that, man? Not to like really get too deep into it, man. But I know, like, he died in a car accident.
For sure.
But a few years back, you were in a car accident. And on top of that, you were in the radio industry, and he's actually acknowledging that you're in here, and he's embracing the fact that you're doing what you want to do right before he passed away. So do you think like all of this is sort of like part of God's plan, so to speak, even if you don't want it to be that way?
I'm going to tell you how it even got even spookier. 10 years ago, that same car accident that I was in, and I broke my neck, and I was paralyzed. I was in a coma. I had another brother in that same car accident, and he died.
Wow.
So 10 years, 11 years later, my older brother died the same way his younger brother died, who his best friend. That was his best friend. They both got hit by 18-wheelers.
What the fuck?
So it was, excuse my language, but I call this year the year of the mind fuck. I have been mind fucked all this year, bro, but one thing about it, God makes no mistakes.
Right.
And I'm not no weak cat. I'm not no hood, you know what I'm saying, dude,
right.
But I'm built for it.
You stand your ground.
I'm built for it, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man, much respect. So
appreciate it.
With that being said, man, what advice would you give out there to anybody out there who wants to pursue a dream, whether it's hosting, radio personality, or just being a regular person? What advice do you give to them?
Be you. Be yourself. Be hungry. Go get the knowledge you need, you know what I'm saying? That's very important. It's vital. And anything after that, just perfect your craft. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't even worry about family, because family can steer you the wrong way too. But be serious about your craft. You can't be a master barber. You can't be the best barber you can be if you only know how to do a bald fade. There's tons of haircut styles out there. You gotta know how to do all of them, and you gotta be damn good at all of them to be the best.
Thanks.
And I just want to teach people to strive to be just that, the best. Not the best compared to everybody else, but the best you can be. That you can be. Regardless of what people tell you, you are how you are, the critiques, the opinions, none of that matters. None of that matters. You have to be able to articulate yourself at the highest level depending on what it is that you do. And that, my friends, is called being fluent. And you better stay fluent. You dig?